Today on Marae Investigates, what does a Maori economist working for the world's economic think tank have to say about the Maori economy?
We prioritise sports people over people who use their brain.
Then the Maori Party co-leader, Dr. Pita Sharples, joins us in studio. Also, we cross live to Tuhoe country as the Children of the Mist celebrate a milestone.
What may I help you with, Mrs.?
And finally, we preview the upcoming feature film, White Lies-Tuakiri Huna. E ngā tūtutu kaurewa e tū hake a maina I tēnā marae, I tēnā kāinga o te motu. Kia ora hui hui mai anō rā koutou katoa.
Ngā mihi o te aranga nei kia koutou katoa whakatau mai anō rā ki tā tātou hotaka whakahirahira I te ata nei.
Nā, kei te piki te rongo mo Daniel Bidois I roto I te ao ohanga. No tērā tau, a Bidois I whakawhiwhia ai ki tana tohu e te kuraka wanatanga o JFK I te whare wānanga o Harvard. I tēnei wā kei wiwi ia, o tira kei pari e mahi ana mā te uepu mahi ngātahi ki te whakawhanake ohanga. A hua pai nera mo te tamaiti I wehe kirihaunga I te kura I te wā e te kaumārima tau ana ia. A nei rā te pūrongo a Carmen Pārahi.
We should not tolerate having the high dropout rates that we have. We prioritise sports people over people who use their brain.
30-year-old economist Daniel Bidois from Ngāti Maniapoto has kept his priorities focused.
Late nights in the library, early mornings in the library, library. It means prioritising books over socialising.
Since 2002, Dan's achieved a Bachelor of Commerce Honours, Bachelor of Arts, and the most impressive to date, a Masters in Public Policy from the Harvard Kennedy School.
Many would just call you a geek.
That's not what I am.
You love economics though.
I love economics, very passionate about it and about using economics to view the world and to approach and tackle tough problems.
So he's not a geek, and once you learn more about Daniel Bidois' past, it becomes clear he's a potential economic powerhouse.
Dropouts don't do well at university, so I had to sort of be an outlier there and prove that I could be an outlier and succeed. I was a pretty bad kid, fair to say.
A bad kid in a decile 10 school? Hard to believe, but it seems Daniel Bidois was the exception.
I was suspended twice from Howard College, once for stealing. I spent a lot of my time in detention here.
It's a frank and unexpected admission from an ambitious Ivy League man.
I became completely disengaged. I did not see myself as being somebody that could succeed in education, nor did the teachers around me, nor did my family upbringing, coming from a blue-collar family with no previous history of education or achievement. So I just slipped through the cracks.
How are you?
Good to see you, Bert. It's been a long time.
Yeah, no,
oh my God, look at you go, you got grey hair.
Man.
Daniel dropped out of school into a butcher's apprenticeship when he was 15. Butcher Herb Hancock hasn't forgotten his young trainee.
So what do you think now that he's a Harvard University graduate?
Brilliant. I say I followed his career all along with his mum and everything, and so it's been brilliant actually.
Yeah.
Just shows you what you can do, Daniel.
A bit of hard work and...
Yeah.
I got a lot of value from this job, and it taught me a lot about just hard work. Herb's got a successful business here, and he's built it through his own hands.
Daniel believes small businesses are the backbone of the New Zealand economy.
Herb's a good example of somebody who's done very well just from having a skill and marketing it.
But not long after he started here, Daniel's trade aspirations were cut short.
It was very tough. He was very, very sick, very sick.
Daniel was diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma, a malignant bone cancer that affects children.
They were going to amputate his leg, but I think about 3 weeks before that operation, our specialist, our surgeon, found a donor that fitted his femur. So he had that operation.
Daniel was given the all clear, but still has to have checkups every 5 years.
What I gained from the cancer experience was a realisation that life is short, and you can be here one day and gone the next. So if you really got to make something of the time that you have.
It spurred him into action, and he realised he needed to go back to school. Leah never imagined she'd watch her son graduate from Harvard University last year.
My heart was just about popping out. I was so proud of him. I couldn't believe that I was there in that beautiful establishment watching this Kiwi boy going up and receiving his Masters in Public Policy. It was a great moment for us.
Daniel credits his tenacity and ambition to his mum, an entrepreneur.
I think there's more to come from Dan, and I hope he comes back to New Zealand within a few years with lots of experience under his belt and can put it back into our country. That's what I'd like to see.
So what does the economist, based in the OECD, the world's economic think tank in Paris, have to say about the Māori economy?
Put more money into making sure every Māori goes and gets a good education. We should not tolerate having the high dropout rates that we have.
What can Māori do to help themselves?
The first is over-investing in its people, and the second is over-investing in Māori entrepreneurship, Māori business. Instead of starting a lawnmower business, we're starting high-end educational programs or high-end Māori products that we can sell for quite a lot overseas. And that requires us to do two things. Firstly is to invest in skills development, and the second thing is to make sure that Māori have all the necessary resources they need to commercialise their businesses, make sure that there's finance available for these enterprises so that they can be scaled up and promoted abroad.
You mentioned there's some things that Māori should do and shouldn't do. What are they?
We prioritise sports people over people who use their brains, and I think that it's limiting the potential for Māori in Pacific because they have brains and they underutilise those brains. How can we promote more doctors and scientists and engineers and business people as opposed to people dropping out and seeking a rugby career?
Do you think iwi are doing enough to help their own tribal members?
It amazes me that we have millions of dollars being settled in these claims, yet only a couple of tens of thousands available for education purposes. And Māori and iwi Trust need to rethink that equation and think, well, maybe we should put a higher proportion of our claims receipts into educational purposes. So there's lots of opportunities to overinvest in education because that's really where the returns come is by investing in people. The only things that are holding us back are ourselves and our own limitations for what we think we're capable of doing.
Well, joining me today is the Minister of Maori Affairs and co-leader of the Maori Party, Pita Sharples. Tēnā koe. Thanks for joining us this morning. Impressive young guy.
Oh, totally.
The stats are shocking though, aren't they? 52% of Māori leave school without level 2 NCEA. The Māori unemployment rate is basically double the general population. We do, as Dan Bidois says, we need to invest in education and skills development now to enable the Māori economy to grow. What are 3 things that are happening under your watch to make that happen?
More investment in education, which is absolutely what he said, and he's totally right.
More investment meaning what?
Well, for example, I've put under my watch literacy programs in decile 1, 2 and 3 schools, hopefully soon in 4, 5 and 6, which brings the parents into the schools, teaches them about reading and reading to their children, because that's where we fail.
Okay, what
You've
else
got to
is
have
happening?
a good start.
Aye.
In terms of education or in terms of the economy.
Yeah.
Well, leading opportunities for Māori in small businesses. He's right. 70% of Māori businesses are small businesses, and we're worth 37 billion, which is something which we set up. We got hold of Bill and asked them to examine our economy.
Okay. I mean, the thing is really, I mean, the Māori population is young and it's growing, and that's the demographic that we need to capture. Are you the man to capture that demographic and turn those stats around?
I think I'm probably one of the few politicians, Māori politicians, that's actually working in the economic area as well as the education area, as well as the social and cultural area. I think we have to invest in both areas, our culture, our language, our marae. Marae should be a hub, bringing people in and involving them, working together.
Absolutely agree with you. The argument that's been about a bit lately is that you're a bit old for this role now. It should maybe go to, the co-leader role should maybe go to a younger man who might be able to relate to rangatahi more effectively.
And that's a good argument, but I'm there because people want me to be there. So if they don't want me there, I won't be there. But I realise the disruption it's causing this challenge for the leadership. And I guess I got to weigh up in the long run, is this good or bad at the end of the day for going into another election?
When do you make that call?
Who knows? I think about it every day. But
so thinking about it every day, you must have come to a point where you've thought, here is the point where enough is enough.
Well, I was sort of hoping he might do that because, I mean, I am the elected leader and just 5 months ago reappointed as a leader unanimously, and I know that I have youth groups set up. We've got a young Maori Party working. The idea is to give our people a voice. The young people have got to have a voice. It doesn't mean to say that the person giving them the voice has to be young.
So you say that there's damage being caused to the party. Who's causing it then?
No, I'd say this, the media loves, like today, talking about the dispute of the leadership. And so people are saying...
Who's responsible for that?
Well, it depends what you call who's responsible for it. The point is, it does exist, there is a challenge.
You just said that you hope that Te Ururoa would have stood down by now and said enough damage has been caused. Is it Te Ururoa Flavel's fault that this is ongoing?
No, it's the fact that it's in the media and people see it as a major split in the Maori Party, and therefore they're wondering whether we're still worth it or not. And that really worries me.
Yeah, it's a major issue, isn't it?
It is a major issue.
So what do you, as co-leader, what do you do now?
Well, what I do now is keep feeling out there on the ground totally about whether I should remain or not remain, stand down, step up.
And everybody wants to know, and I know I've asked you this already, everybody wants to know.
Yeah.
Well, come on, you're the leader,
everybody
you've
wants
got to know. As a leader, surely you have to be the one that says, this is when I'm going to stand down. Even if you're not going to tell us right now, you need to know in your own mind, surely, when enough is enough.
Well, I have said that I wanted to, the support that I have says that I should lead us into the next election. Now, that's where I am at this time. Okay. What happens after that is up to the party.
You've said that should the party choose you as ongoing co-leader, you'd like Te Ururoa to stay on and work.
Oh, totally.
If the party chose Te Ururoa, would you stay on and work with him?
I would stay on to the term, of course.
A term, and then you'd...
Oh, well, this term at least. I mean, that's why I'm here. I'm talking about leading up to the next election, right?
Okay.
And that's what I've committed myself to at this stage, because, as I said, it's an ongoing thing, and people are saying, get out, get in, get out.
It's a very
and I'm caught in them. Very. I don't want to...
Tell us the impact on you.
Oh, it's been pretty stressful, but I've got my family and busy with 10 mokos and stuff, so I've got a pretty full life.
You said that you wish that Te Ururoa had waited just a little bit longer.
Yeah, because
what is a little bit longer?
Well, I would have thought to get in till we work together with through this election till we can bring some more seats. We've only got 3. Tari's stepping down. We'll only have 2 sitting members. So we really need to have 4 or 5.
So you would have liked him to have held off until after the...
I would have, because he's a good MP. He works really hard. It's just that at this stage, I have the hand in terms of contacts and...
You'd like to, as you've said, you'd like to provide stability through the period that Tariana is going to leave. Do you ever perceive a time when Te Ururoa Flavel will be a leader of the Māori Party?
Of course, absolutely.
When?
Yes. Well, you see, it's the same question you're asking me. I mean, this is what we're playing out at this time. And my support base is so strong in saying that I should be there, it's imperative and all this kind of stuff, that I'm going along with that.
You're saying, hold on, Te Ururoa, this is a viable career path for you, just not now.
Totally. Yeah, he's good at it. But at the moment, I have the connections and the support base through my past activities.
All right, well, look, we have to leave it there. I really appreciate you coming in. Thanks so much,
Okay,
Minister.
good.
Peter Sharples. Over to you now, Scotty, with Willie.
Yes, kia ora Miriama. With me now is Willie Jackson, our commentator. Well, Willie, what did you make of the interview?
Oh, well, it was, it's clear that the Minister is not going anywhere. And his team have launched an offensive. We had a very good article on Friday in the Herald. So the Maori Party need to do something pretty quickly, actually, because this has been going on for 5 months.
So what should they do?
Well, my view is, and I've said this to Tariana Turia, they need to get rid of the woman-male thing. Which was a green kaupapa, it was an alliance kaupapa when we were in, and just realise Pete's not going anywhere. It's clear his membership want him there. Te Ururoa has got a lot of the young support. So set up a waka where both of them have got the leadership. Tariana's leaving anyway, and there should be some sort of transition with both of them. Otherwise, they'll keep scrapping like this. The public don't like it. You can see the Minister's stressed, no doubt about it. I think Tariana's stressed. So just do something to accommodate everyone, because Flavel's already indicated, Tururo's already indicated that he'll leave if he doesn't get the leadership.
But Pete says he's got the mandate. He said people want him there, and that's why he's going to stay there.
That's right.
But that's fair enough, isn't it?
Absolutely. Well, the reality, he has got the mandate. I think that's clear. If he didn't
shouldn't Tuhoe back down?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is that but there can be an accommodation there. He probably should step back now, and I think that the Minister, the Pete Sharples would be quite accommodating there. Get rid of the male-female thing and just do a transition where both of them take on the leadership when Tariana moves out in the next couple of years. I think it's pretty simple, but I'd urge them to do it sooner rather than later, because you've got Shane Jones prowling around. All of a sudden, he's the expert on the Maori Party. He needs to look at his own party, which has got no talent in it, and stop. But he's having a crack at it. He's having a crack at the Maori Party, and he's talking about, oh, they're too old. They're too old. It's very hard to get people coming into some of these positions. Labor know it better than anyone, because they've given us substandard candidates for years now. Jones is the best of a bad bunch. So I would just urge Pete and Tariana and the team to make this happen now, because it's been going for
they need to make this happen now, otherwise the Maori Party future is not looking very bright.
Well, Pete Sharples knows that better than anyone, and so does Tariana Turia. If this goes for another 3-4 months, nobody will want a bar of them, and they'll be all out. Yeah. That's the problem.
And are you going to invite Pete Sharples to the whānau order celebrations at Wātero on Saturday?
Yes, we'll keep him and Tariana apart. No. I think Pete's going to China. Of course, he'd be invited as a local candidate, but he won't be here. Look, that kaupapa is tremendously important. John Tamahiri and I have decided on a whānau order day. We've got Shea Fu and all the top acts performing, Sprawn, Breezy. I think you're going to get up there and do the haka.
Or perhaps.
And it's 10 o'clock at Ngā Whare Wāti. It's a celebration of whānau order. We don't care what Winston Peters says. We're proud of whānau order, and we'll keep it going forever and a day.
Thank you very much, Willie. Ngā mihi nui ki a koe. Back to you, Miriama.
Well, actually, I've still got the Minister saying this week. Just a very, very quick question, because we don't have much time. Is it likely that the Constitution will change and we won't have that male?
Oh, there's been a lot of talk about it, whether they get around to actually doing it.
But should it change? Is it time to change?
It could well be time for it to change the male-female leadership thing. Yeah.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much, Minister.
Okay.
It's been a big start to the year for the people of Tuhoe with the release of Tamati from jail, and a milestone was recently achieved in settling grievances committed by the Crown on the Tuhoe people, and it's a big weekend for Tuhoe. We're across live now to Ruatoki, where our reporter Tahuri Tumuano is standing by. Tēnā koe, Tahuri.
Kia ora ata Maria, Miriama o tira kia koutou e mātakitaki mai ana. Kei konei mātou, kei te hui ahurei o Tuhoe. O tira, koe nei te rā tua toru, te rā whakamutina mō tēnei o nā hui ahurei. Kua neke atu I te whātakau mā rua tau, tēnei kaupapa haere ana. O tira, ko te neti pōro, me te putu pōro, kei runa I te papatākaro I tēnei wā. Hauna no nā mahi kapahaka a nā mātua pakeke, mea tātou tamariki moko puna. Engari, ko te whakaaro nui mō tēnei o nā hui, kaua ma te waiwai tūtuki, engari me upoko pakaru. And here I have is former Chief Negotiator for Treaty Claims for Tuhoe, Tamati Kruger. Tamati, has it been a bit of upoko pakaru going through this process?
Yes, many upoko pakaru.
And so what is your role now that you have resigned as chief negotiator? Will you still be involved in seeing the settlement process through?
I will. It's just that the treaty negotiations part is over and done with, so need to move on from there. We've got some tweaking to do as we prepare the bill for Parliament and then watch it go through to legislation. So there's quite a lot of work to be done, and we'll be there for that part.
Now, at the 11th hour, you were challenged by Ngāti Ruapani ki Waikare Moana. And so how are you going to go, what kind of recovery process will you be going through to ensure that hapu, I guess, or proclaimed areas such as Upoko, Rehe, Patu Heo will still be part of the Tuhoe deal no matter what?
Look, it's very important that Tuhoe has a enduring plan to involve and engage all of its hapu and all of its interest group. It's not good, I think, politically to always have dissidents and to have people really unhappy about what is going on. So the door has never ever been closed by Te Kotahi a Tuhoe o Te Uru Taumatua. We greatly wish to reconcile and to have better working relationship with all of our hapu.
Kia ora. Now, te whare hau, a $15 million eco-friendly green building. What kind of value would it bring to Tuhoe? And when some people are saying, you know, our marae are still in a bit of a state of disrepair, so what value will this building bring to Tuhoe?
I think that's a good question. The first thing I think that has to be remembered is that the whareho's design and concept to be built was agreed to by all Tuhoe hapu. It wasn't something that was agreed to by a committee isolated from Tuhoe whānui. This was built over 2 years, the idea, high consultation and 100% approval by all of Tuhoe.
Now, people have said to me, when we had the whare pāremata in Mauna Pōhatu, why tāne atua?
Oh, well, that was another thing that was agreed to by Tuhoe hapu over the last 2 years. I think they consider tāne atua to be the biggest town in Te Urawera, a place where all of them are connected to and have a presence in. It's not just solely Ruatoki. And it's something that's convenient to other services.
Yeah. There's a lot to get through, but we've settled the CNI claim, approximately 60 mil. Te Urawera, what value do we have in terms of selling Te Urawera? What value is it?
We argued that Te Urawera is part of the cultural redress for the iwi. Therefore, there was no value monetarily given to that. So because it was part of our cultural redress, that came across without consideration of commercial value, etc. It was something that was going to pass over without a transaction at all.
And so, just wrapping up here, we have Tamati. He's come home. He was picking up the taki as the whittles went down. You've initialed a deed of settlement. Things are looking good. Are you confident that the government won't do a U-turn like the last 2 years ago in terms of settling all grievances for Tuhoe and us enabling us to move on?
And initialing says that there is a deal between Tuhoe and the Crown, and that negotiations are finished. The Crown and Tuhoe are eager to have a signing by June, and I don't think there'll be a U-turn. The feeling that I get from this ahure is that Tuhoe are now well prepared to close one door and open another and move on.
Tamati Kruger, thank you very much. Well done, awesome job. Nō reira, e te iwi, kei konei mātou te rā whakamutuna, hui ahurei, Tuhoe 2013. Back to you in studio, Scotty.
Kia ora tahuri, kōrua ko Tamati. Nā, mai te ahurei a Tuhoe ki te uri o Tuhoe e mahi kiriata ana. Hei te pipiri, ka puta te kiriata hou nā te ropu i mahi i te kaieke tohora i hanga. Ko Dana Rotberg, te ringa tuhi me te ringa tohu. E hāngai ana te kiriata nei ki te puka wahine rongo wā i tuhia e witi i himaira. I kōrero tātātou karere a Kane Peters ki te kaiwhakaari matua o te kiriata nei kia Whirimako Black, rāua ko te ringa tohu tauira a Kararaina Rangihau. Aneira e te iwi ngā kōrero hei kai mā te taringa me te hinengaro.
Te tīmatahana, ahua mataku a hau ki te tūtaki i a ku uri o roto i te ruatāhuna na te mea no ruatoki a hau. Ka ahua uru mai tētahi whakaro hea, kene pēr ka whakawāhia a hau, kuai koe. Ani anō mātau hei mahi tērā mai. Ko te tumanako, ka puāwai te iwi Māori i roto i ēnei mahi, ka ki te mai rātau, ka ia rātau e tahi kōrero, ka ia rātau e tahi tikana, ka te ia mātau te ki te atu anō, atu i te wheel rider, me tēnei. Kai te whakarerea ēnei āhua wirepa, me ki mea noe koe he tangata hei tiaki te iwi.
Koe anake, kai te mōhio, me pē.
Tēnei o White Lies, kai te mahi tonu o mātou tīpuna i o rātou nā mahi. E toi ka hana rātou ki te pupuri, ki o rātou tikanga nā taonga a kui a koroma.
I te wā e rangahau ana a Dana Rotsberg i te kiriata White Lies, ka turihi haere ki te urewera. Hei tākara raina, tūmeka katoa a Dana ki te wairua o te haukainga, ka whawhaia ki te puta atu.
Ka rongo au te wairua o tēnei wahine, aha koa he Pākehā, te āhua, tino Māori nei o na whakaaro.
That's Paraiti. She could help you. May I trouble you? It is a matter of life and death.
Whakamataku ana ke nā te mea, pai e tahi āhua tana, kore rawa e hia i roto i tōku au naini, kia pā mai e rā āhua tana kia hau. A tēnā, e rite anō tō wahine rangatira kia tātou? What may I help you with, Mrs.?
This is very simple. I am carrying a child, and you are renowned for your clever hands. I will pay you handsomely, both for your work and for your silence.
Mā tēnei kiriata ka ki te tono o tātou angai Māori i ngā āhuatanga katoa, te wairua, te tapu, te ihi, te wehi, me te whakamataku o enei taonga, ngā mahi āringa o mātou tīpuna.
You will remain in the kitchen. You have no permission to go into any other part of the house.
Te wāhi ka mahi au nā wairākau ka ia hau tēnā. Nā he tapu tēnei kaupapa. These herbs will stop the bleeding.
I could have you thrown in jail.
Nā reira he tino mahi tonu ki te whakakaha ia hau. Kia maua hau ki te whakaaro. Kei te whakātu atu koe te tei āhua tana kua pāki e tahi o tātou.
So you think you've seen it all before? You have no idea.
You can't leave, it's too late. You're part of this now.
Ko rera wātau mōhio, hea hai tari e koe ki te rukahu. Tā tatonu koe ka puta.
Why are you doing this? What made you change your mind?
This is my way of restoring some justice. Now you know the price of my work.
Looks fantastic. Well, thanks for joining us. Up next, Wakahuia celebrates Te Pāroa Marae's centenary in Whakatāne with the Ngaitai Whakaia people. Ngā manaakitanga kia koutou katoa I tēnei wā aranga.
Kia pai te toinga o te aranga nei, kia tūpato, kia hakune, kia kaha te tiaki, tētahi I tētahi. Hei tērā wiki tātou piritahi anō ai, hei kona rā.
He mea tau toko na te manga.